My leg is so itchy. God, can you hear that? Sounds like I'm doing something else. Hey guys, what's up? Mallory here. Today we're going to be talking about the ever so controversial It's Backwards. So this is going to be a review video and a swatch video and a demo video. So stay tuned till the end for the demo. This thing has been put through the ringer. I don't know why. Let me start off by saying I'm going to address a bit of the drama before I get into the actual palette. If you guys have watched all the reviews, then you know what I'm talking about. I feel for the most part, they are very, very, very negative. And I think, in my personal opinion, that people are taking advantage of the fact that a big brand that has been adored and gets very, very glowing reviews all the time, people are taking advantage of the fact that for once something isn't going perfectly and everyone's jumping aboard that train. I feel like as a viewer, when you hear a YouTuber speak negatively about a product, it kind of gives you an instant feeling of that they have more credibility because they're not afraid to speak their mind. So when a product has gotten significantly bad reviews, I feel a lot of people, without even really giving it the benefit of the doubt, they jump on board that negative review train and try and be like, yeah, me too. Like, I feel so negatively about this. Look at all the credibility I have. Just like when people have the title, this is an honest AF review. Like, I'm sorry. I was looking for a misleading video. Please let me go find a misleading review. So basically, I don't trust any of these reviews. I needed to try it for myself. The only YouTuber that I can say without a doubt, I know that they're legit, I know they're 100% honest all the time, is Samantha. And if you guys watch her, then you agree probably. I've met her in person a few times and she's just legit, okay? So you can trust what she's saying. And I hope you can trust what I'm saying. So now getting into the palette, shall we? So this is the ever-hyped Subculture palette from Anastasia. It is the exact same packaging as the Modern Renaissance palette. It is supposed to be the sister palette. The only difference is this one is a kind of dusty indigo shade packaging. It's still that velvet packaging with yellow mustard print on it instead of the pink and white. So opening it up, we have all the colors. So they are, how many shades are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 shades in this palette. 3 of which are shimmers. I would say these 2 are shimmers and this one is more of a pearl. The rest are all mattes and they are very earthy tones. They are warm to an extent with the exception of Mercury, which is still warm, but kind of cool. It's weird. But you have a vast range of shades here that are meant to complement the Modern Renaissance palette. So a lot of people have been complaining that there was tons of kickback and fallout with these matte shades. And yes, that is true, but that is also true of the Modern Renaissance palette. So I don't find the kickbacks to be pretty much any different. Like maybe a tiny bit more, but nothing noticeable. If I hadn't watched is her name Alissa Ashleys? I think. That could be another YouTuber altogether. But if you know what review I'm talking about, like the one that kicked it all off. If I hadn't watched that, I never would have even noticed that there was more kickback. And I feel like nothing against her. I love her channel. I don't know her name. I literally just found her channel and I loved all her videos. I think she's so sweet. I think that who swirls their brush? I don't. I hope you don't. If anything, you pat your brush if you really want to build up a bunch of color. But even then, I like to only do a pat, and then as we're all taught, you tap off the excess, not excess. So I don't understand. I just don't understand. I think that these matte shadows are amazing. So I'm just gonna put this down, if you don't mind. I don't need to hold it the whole time, do I? So personally, I prefer my shadows to be more pigmented, softer pressed, and you not really have to dig in to get a bunch of color. I like to build it up as I go. I don't like to have a ton of color and then have to blend it out. So working with the Modern Renaissance and working with Anastasia shadows in the past, I find that they are softer, but I like that because I don't need that much product. I know that it's gonna last a long time. Yeah, like I'm just so caught off guard by all this negativity around this palette. So I'm really at the loss for words because I don't get what everyone else is saying. If there's a lot of kickback and fallout, but the shadow is so pigmented, then don't swirl your brush around in it and save that product because it performs well. If you wait till my tutorial at the end of the video, you will see how the shadows perform. So I think they perform beautifully. And I'm not using it any differently than I would have used it had I not watched all these reviews and heard all this negativity. One girl even went as far as saying, this look isn't even the palette. Like, I couldn't even use it. Like, okay, you swatched it in the video and stuff, but don't tell me it's so bad that you couldn't use it when it's not on your eyes. Like, show us how bad it is then. Like, the original poster, like, you saw that she was struggling with it. That's fine. It wasn't working for her, but I feel like now everybody's jumping on the train. Like, come on, people. Give it a chance. So with that being said, I love the mattes, but I don't love everything about this palette. I think that Axis feels a bit dry as opposed to the rest, which are quite buttery. I find that Cube doesn't have enough shimmer and reflectiveness for my taste. I find that Electric swatches horribly, but you can work with it. I don't think it's a great eyeshadow, but you can work with it. I think Adorn, it's not my favorite Anastasia shimmer shade. The formula is kind of off for me. It's not as creamy and pigmented. But again, shimmers are way easier to work with if they're just okay. These are just okay, those three shimmers, and the one matte. The rest of the mattes I think are incredible. If you watch during my swatches, you will see I pick up a little bit on the brush, apply it. It doesn't swatch great on the first stroke, but without even dipping back in, I get so much more color as I just gently kind of touch the brush over the same area, and it's blending amazingly. So that's the thing that's good about soft press eyeshadows, is that you don't need much and they're so easy to blend. So why is that a bad thing? Unless you're going ham with your brush. So I don't know, try it for yourself. So I think that for the price, it is worth it if you want these colors. Personally, I have pretty much all these colors except for New Wave and Edge. I have very similar colors in my collection. So having these colors in my collection, I personally would not have gone out and got this. I even have a Makeup Geek shade that is almost identical to this. But had I not had these colors in my collection, I would buy this. So it's really up to you and what your collection is and what you're looking for in eyeshadows. I think it's worth the money. I think it's beautiful. I think it performs beautifully. So try it for yourself. So let's just get into swatches now, okay? So my desk is filthy. Don't mind that. And I haven't done swatches with this camera before, so bear with me, okay? So now if you want to see my tutorial, then keep on watching. So first we are going to prime the eyes. This is my favorite primer of the moment. It is the new Smashbox lid primer. I don't know the actual name, but I'll put it in the description. And now we are going to pick up the shade Dawn and apply this just as a transition color with a nice fluffy tapered blending brush. And now pick up the shade Roxy and apply this just underneath, and the brush I'm using is also a tapered blending brush, but it's slightly smaller because we don't want it to completely cover that transition shade. So just blend upwards and outwards. And now grab the shade All Star on a even smaller brush. You see what we're doing here? We're getting smaller as we go. And apply this just in the outer corner of your eye, just creating a nice smoke and then slightly blending it up into the crease. And now to make sure I'm getting that right at the lash line, I'm grabbing a even smaller, how small can we get? Blending brush and applying that to the crease and just, you know, deepening up that color. And now I'm going to grab New Wave and apply this over top of where I put Roxy because I want a little more fun in the look, you know? Wanted to add a little bit of that mustard shade because it's such a fun color. So that came out very saturated. So now I'm just going to go in with a blending brush and just blend it all out. And as you can see, it blends really well. And now I'm going to grab the shade Rowdy and apply this just to the outer V area because I want to deepen that up even more and add more depth to the look by adding lots of different layers of color. And now grabbing Electric on a shader brush. As you can see, this shade isn't as great as it could be. There is a great shade by Makeup Geek. I will put the name in the description. That is pretty much the same shade, but it's very, very pigmented. This is still a nice shade, but it does take some building up. And I'm just going to add Rowdy to the lower lash line on a small pencil brush. And then I'm going to blend it out with New Wave. And now I'm going to add, not Dawn, that was supposed to be Cube to the inner corner and the highlight under the brow. And then I'm just going to brighten my waterline with an e.l.f. eye pencil. And now using Smashbox Always On Black Liner, I'm going to do that lash line so that it hides my lashes. And that is the finished look. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay guys, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, make sure to hit that little bell down there or down there so that you actually get notified when I post, and check out my Instagram. And I will see you next time. Bye guys.